Namo Narayana. 20th July 2020 is Amavasya, Adi Amavasya. This is the month Adi between July and August, and Amavasya is the new moon day. New moon was very interesting. Every Amavasya we know it's very important, where we spend time, people. It's basically Amavasya is all about remembering our Pitru, the entire lineage and all that. There are processes in which we remember the Pitru Karma, perform the Pitru Karma and all that. But Amavasya is very interesting for something else. It's new moon, so obviously it is new. A lot of people consider it very auspicious to start something. But very important, when we talk of Amavasya, we should all remember one place, okay, which have to loosely translate into English. We should ask which room is the new moon. Okay, that's a pun I'm making. Which room in Tamil says Evvul, okay, or Endavul is what it means. So basically a small story or an history that happened several years, we don't know the dates, back, is there used to be a rishi who had immense knowledge but was worried that he did not have a lineage to transfer the knowledge. A lot of us worry about not having lineage to transfer our wealth. Here this rishi is worried about transferring the real wealth, which is the knowledge. So he starts a penance, praying to Sriman Narayana, with a particular type of seed. Sali. Sali is as a samba nil. Okay, I don't know much about it, so it's called Sali, and he uses the Sali to perform a year-long penance. And pleased with this penance, Perumal appears and says, "What do you want?" He says, "I want a putra with whom I can transfer the knowledge." So he blesses him, so be it, and then with the blessings of Perumal, he gets a divine baby. Because the baby was born based on the penance using Sali or the Samba Nil, the baby was named as Salihotra. So Salihotra Maharishi, who then obviously become a big rishi with all the knowledge, wealth of knowledge. So he was called Salihotra Maharishi. That was his name. So he does a 1 year penance performing, that he will do the same Sali Sambanal based with which he can cook food. He says 1 year I will not eat. I will just think of penance. 1 year, not 1 hour. 1 year he doesn't eat. Starts on an Amavasya. He starts on a new moon day, which is on the Thai month. Thai is between January and February, January 15th to February 15th, where during Thai Amavasya he starts and says, till the next Thai Amavasya, I will not eat anything. And he performs a penance. So the next Thai Amavasya comes, 1 full year goes in, and then he prepares food on that day using again the Sali, and he creates 3 portions. 1 portion to offer to the Perumal in his house. He says 1 portion for an Atithi who comes home, because those days it was always a norm that you feed an Atithi and then eat ourselves. So the 3rd portion is to eat after his Atithi is fed. He waits for an Atithi he doesn't get, and then he suddenly finds a very elderly man coming with a lot of tejas, walking across. He says, "Can I have some food?" He says, "I'm waiting for an Atithi, please come in." So he welcomes, performs all the upacharas and all that, and then offers food. He eats the portion that is kept for the Atithi. He says, "I'm still hungry." He gives the portion that he kept for himself, the Salihotra Maharishi. He says, "I want more." He even gives the portion that he's offered it to the Perumal at home, and then he says, "Okay, now I'm happy, thank you," and he leaves. So now Salihotra Maharishi says, "Okay, probably Perumal didn't want me to break the fast so soon. That is after 1 full year of fasting." So he says, "Let me continue till the next Thai Amavasya." Okay, that is this Vairagya that is able to do. So for 1 more year, Salihotra Maharishi performs the penance of not eating and just doing his daily routines and praying, and the next Thai Amavasya comes. So that next Thai Amavasya, again he makes 3 portions of food, waits for an Atithi, and he sees the same Atithi is coming, but now 1 year older. He again says, "Can I have food?" He says, "Please come in," and then he offers obeisance. He performs all the Purnakambam and basic respects, and then offers food. Like the last year, he eats all 3 portions of food, And then now he says, see, I'm 1 year older. I came here last year. Now I'm 1 year older. I'm still tired. Can I sleep? Can I take rest in your house? Ivvullil evvul, can I sleep? In which room can I sleep? Is what the older Vriddha is asking. Then Shalihotra Maharishi says, you can just sleep here, Evvul. So that Evvul became ThiruEvvul. Just as he goes and lies down there, the Shalihotra Maharishi goes to do help, like he goes to hold his hands and feet and all that. As he holds his hands, suddenly that old man, old Vriddha man becomes none other than Perumal himself, and in a sign up posture, he immediately lies down. Moment he lies down, the Sri Devi, Bhudevi, both Nachimars come in, and Brahma also appears in his Nabi, and Perumal starts his teachings, Upadesams to Brahma. This Perumal, ThiruEvvul, because which room I can say, because now his Perumal is staying in that room, it has become ThiruEvvul. Now in common parlance we call it Thiruvaloor. So ThiruEvvul is what is as Evvul is where in the Vul Irikalam, which place, which room can I sleep? He says ThiruEvvul, that becomes ThiruEvvul, and Thiruvaloor as we call it today. Veeraraghava Perumal as he calls it. Thayar is Kanakavalli Thayar. So let us remember every Amavasya that Veeraraghava Perumal on this day of Amavasya, of course his Avatara Dinam is Thai Amavasya. So on Thai Amavasya you can really see the whole place is flooded with people, but actually every Amavasya you can see the place is crowded with full of Sevartigal having to have darshan, but Thai Amavasya will be ultimate. And on Thai Amavasya, because of Perumal's blessings, the Pushkarni's Jalam is granted the sanctity which all the Punya Nadis have, like Ganga, Kaveri, Yamuna, and whatever Punya Nadi is there in this desam, it has the equal sanctity or more sanctity on that day on Thai Amavasya in Pushkarani, and he is called Vaidya Veeraraghavan. So if you have any health issues, people normally go and worship on Amavasya, ideally Thai Amavasya, but or in any Amavasya, and there are standard practices where you do salt and pepper, okay, which will be available in the shops there for 10 rupees. You normally mix it in the Pushkarani and just take the drops of water on your head with full faith in Perumal. The Vimana, every Kovil, every temple will have a Vimanam. Like we know Sri Rangam has got the Pranavakara Vimanam, which is the core of everything. Like this in Veeraraghava Perumal Kovil, Thiruvaloor, the Vimanam is, it's the Kshetram itself is called Punyavardhana Kshetram, so is the Vimanam. That means if you do one Punya there, it multiplies into 10 or 100. So that means that the immediate worry for us is if you do one Pavam, does it also multiply into tens or hundreds? No. Luckily the name is Punyavardhana Kshetram, not Karmavarta Kshetram. So if you do a Pavam, it will probably reduce the intensity by 10 or 100. If you do a Punyam, it will multiply it to 10 or 100. So let us remember every Amavasya Vaidya Veeraraghava Perumal and worship him at all times. Thirumangai Alvar has sung 10 lovely pasurams on that in Tamil, because when we talk of Perumal or any Divyadesam without quoting Alvar pasurams in Tamil, it's very difficult. The 10 pasurams are nice. In the first few lines of the first few pasurams itself will have Ramavatar, Krishna Avatar mention also. It's a very interesting thing to recite and enjoy. And it starts beautifully. Kasai Adi Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan Avanur Nasamaga Nambavalle Nambi Namberman Veinannadol Madavar Vennayundan Ivanendre Esanendre Emberman Yevvul Kedandane. That's the first pasuram. Kasai Adi Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan. Kasai Adi, Kashayam, the robe of a sannyasi. Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan. Who did this? Avanur Nasamaga Nambavalle. So, to cheat Sita Pirati, Ravana disguises himself in a saffron robe. That is what Alvar is mentioning here. Kasai Adi Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan Avanur Nasamaga Lankai Nasamaga Namban Kasai Adi Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan Avanur Nasamaga Nambavalle Nambi Namberuman. So here he worships Rama. Kasai Adi Moodi Odi Kadal Sedan Avanur Nasamaga Nambavalle Nambi Namberuman Veinannadol Madavar Vennayundan Ivanendre. Immediately goes to Krishna Avatar. Vennayundan Ivanendre. இருக்கிற வெண்ணையெல்லாம் இப்படி சாட்டு நிற்கிறே என்று ஏசன் என்ற எம்பெருமான், people are scolding, எவ்வளவு கிடந்தானே. So he is now seeing Veeraraghava Perumal there lying posture but actually sees both Rama and Krishna in this. So first two lines, Thirumangai Alvar is enjoying the Rama avatar. In the second two lines, he is enjoying the Krishna avatar. Similarly, in one of the other pasarams within this same 10, he says, Munnor Thodu Vanarathin Vail Murindu, Avanur, Adimanarkagi, Pinne, Peranilithar, Innar Dudanindran, Evvul Kadandane, is what it says. He sent Anjaneya as an ambassador, Munnor Thodu Vanarathin Vail Murindu. So he says, Munnor Thodu, when you had the power as a king, you sent somebody as an ambassador. Avane, Pinnor Thodu. In Krishna avatar, he goes as an ambassador for the Pandavas. Innar Dudanindran. As if he doesn't have any name, there is a temple in Kanchipuram has Pandavaduta Perumal. He even takes the name as Pandavadutan as one of the names. So you are the king who sent an ambassador. Here you are also going as an ambassador for somebody, and not just going as an ambassador, you are also proudly carrying that name as Pandavaduta. So that is how Alvar is enjoying this avatar of Veeraraghavan in this temple. All this 10 pasaram is amazing. I mean, every Alvar pasaram is amazing. Particularly Kasayadai, when you recite this, it will be interesting to know the Tamil and also the enjoyment of Rama and Krishna in the first few pasarams. Then, of course, enjoying the greatness of Veeraraghava Perumal in that. So, every Amavasya, let us worship. And in fact, elders have said, Puranas have mentioned very clearly, on the Amavasya day, the Snanat, Darsanat, Smaranat. Okay, that means if you take bath in that Pushkarani, or just have darshan of that Pushkarani, or Smaranam, just think of that Pushkarani, it will remove all our sins. Ideal is go to have bath. Of course, bath is all restricted now by the government. You can only step in and put few drops of water on our head. But at least let's do that. But let's at least see the photographs. Or, very important, let's definitely think of the Pushkarani. And that will relieve of us all our sins, all our doubts in our minds and everything. So let us worship Sri Andal Kanakavalli Nayika samedha Sri Vaidya Veeraraghava Perumal every day, but definitely on all Amavasya. Namo Narayana.